Oh, I thought you meant like
There it
plane
goes.
crash or
It finally
train
it finally
crash or
caught up. It
really bad
finally
movie
caught up.
crash.
Anyhow, let's kick this show off. For anybody that's new here, my name's Nick.
Tim.
And this
Oh,
is
I'm the
whatever name
Jones.
whatever
Yeah.
name I want to call him. He's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that works for me.
We are sending this out from the wonderful, amazing East Coast of the United States. If you're here, thank you for joining us. Menu, what is on it?
So we had the one thing about Netflix and other streaming services.
Yeah, what do you think about that, man?
Personally, doesn't affect me. So
I mean,
I get it.
I pay for my own service. And I don't pay like the minimum. Do you know what I mean? I pay for an upgraded plan to have more devices access it.
yeah,
But it's mainly, it's all devices in the house. And then I have one computer here that I watch while I'm at work or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people do the whole, like I have Netflix and somebody has Hulu and swap passwords and now you got access to two platforms. I think that's what they're trying to cut down on.
yeah. Then just password sharing in general.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because, like, you figure, like, well, Hulu, I think when you sign up for Hulu, it specifically says, like, yeah, feel free to give your password, share it with your friends, like, Hulu, woo, but they sell ads. Netflix revenue is all based off of selling that subscription.
Right.
And your subscription says, like, you can have, like, so many devices active at one time. Like why wouldn't you? You know?
I don't want to say bad stuff about Netflix, but it's like what the whole password crackdown thing reminds me of is like the dealer that's giving out like free kicking out to people for free, and then once he starts getting his own habit because he's dipping into his own product and profit, then he's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that, but
Yeah, he's like, oh, no more free. All that shit I gave you, I'm gonna need money for that. You know what I mean? Like that's what it.
Well, I think it's just
They spend so much making their own content that now they're, you know what I mean, and they're in debt.
oh, they're using that as a way to make money back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, and then they're gonna crack down on it. Like, no,
Well, I don't think they ever intended for people to share the passwords. It's just they've let them get away with it to this point. You know what I mean? Because if you read probably somewhere in their terms of service, it says like, nah, man, like this is yours.
yeah,
Like,
it is abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, of the TOS, clearly it has to be. I mean, some people that talked about it are just like, when they first hear about Netflix, they're like, well, how is that even legal? It is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't think they're understanding that you're paying for a service and you can take and watch it wherever you want.
Basically, though, it'd be like cable back in the day, like when there was just cable before there was Netflix. It'd be like you taking the cable from your house and running it over to your neighbor's house.
Yeah, that's illegal as hell.
Yeah,
A lot
like,
of
that's
people got busted
it's
for that.
the same thing. It's like don't need to like charge the dude or anything. It's like, no, man, you can share my cable. It's like one thing he comes and watches a football game in your house, and it's another if you run a cable from your house to his, and like it's not physically the same, but it's the same thing.
But at the same time, it does come in handy. Many situations, just one. I pay for a service and whatever. I have a elderly grandpa and grandmother. We'll say, you know what I mean. I live here. They live in Florida or California. You know what I mean. They use my account. We'll say. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not really gonna. If they would change it to where I know they're talking about periodically. They were thinking about periodically send a text to the account holder's phone to say, "Are you still watching this?" You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Or logging in with a fingerprint. That's one way to do it. See, I can see situations like that apply, but the definite password trading, like, yeah, I never got into that too much. But I don't see how are they going to lock it down?
Well, the two ways you mentioned seem like they're just going to be a huge pain.
Right. Yeah. For not only for the end user, but for them.
Yeah. It's all around.
I mean, what do you do now? Do you sell a proprietary box that goes along with your subscription, kind of like
Roku or something.
yeah, kind of like you got your Chromecast or Roku box or whatever it is, your Android TV box. Now you have a Netflix. You know what I mean? Where it was worked in a browser with an app on devices. Now you need some.
I don't think you can really go that far.
You know what I mean? But companies do that too, lock stuff down all the time, come up with proprietary ass hardware that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the ease of use has been the app with it and stuff.
Right.
So I think they would turn a lot of people off if they go that far.
I mean, that's one thing they are worried about too, losing people. If it like locking it down like that, how much are they going to lose? How many, like you said, how many people are using it strictly because it's so easy to use?
Yeah, but how many people at the same time who are going to lose access are going to end up paying for it because they lost it?
That too.
Like, that's the gambit they're
Right.
No, I'm saying it's
and
going to
if
be
they do lock it down, how many people are going to leave? All the people that are losing access to it weren't people that were paying. And sure, there are a couple of circumstances where it sucks for the grandma in Florida, but most of the time, like,
you can
like,
just
they
sign
really-
grandma up. Yeah.
yeah. At this point, they're like, well, damn, everybody we know has Netflix. Well, everybody we know is watching Netflix, but only 95% of the people we know have Netflix. We got to find a way to lock down that last 5%. You know what I mean? Because like so many people have it at this point, like the only opportunity they have to grow is to, stop the people who aren't already paying from watching it to pay for it.
Like I see one potential solution. One potential solution for them is do it on an IP based thing, like account holder. Okay, you got grandma in Florida. You know you're going to use it. You know you might use it at your work, and then whatever. So you register 4 devices at this IP address, like global IP. You know what I mean? Which does change, but they would have to find a way to figure it out. And then
that'd be hard to do.
One from this IP address in this state, and then you know what I mean?
Because so many people watch it constantly different places all the time.
Right.
Like I think it would be easier just to be like, no, this is a verified device. I think like they'll just be like, you can watch it on, like, you'll download the app and you download it to like that app or like that device. Your device is verified, so sure, someone else can take your phone and watch your phone. But it's going to be linked to that device. If you want to watch it, your grandma wants to watch it on a Roku box in Florida, it's linked to that Roku box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
But you could still
like if you watch your like how many people like like you register how many ever devices are on your you can have on the list or whatever. So like that's if you say okay you can have 10 devices registered, that's really going to be like and like I don't think they're trying to target the people that are giving it like to their grandma.
Right,
they're trying to target it to like the one guy that gives his Netflix password to an entire dorm, or the one guy that gives his password to his friend, who gives it to his friend, who gives it to his
keeps
friend.
passing it
out.
out.
So it's not just like like I think they're not like the people that are like it's gonna screw my grandma over, but it's like nah man like.
But don't they already have something in place for that? Because I know like if there's so many people watching.
Well, yeah,
you hit the limit.
Yeah.
So
it'll kick you out and tell you, you know what I mean? Tell you to sign. You can sign out of all other locations. I think.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't give you the option to sign out of any other. Like it, at least it doesn't on my phone or on whatever. Because
you can, but I think you have to go on a browser.
Yeah. Because
like on a desktop or laptop.
Yeah, we ran into it because Terry's sister, who had to change the password because I didn't want to be a jerk about it, but because we used to let her share ours, but now with 2 kids, like, one kid's watching something on the tablet, I got something on the television, and I got something on my phone, like, because I think we have a 2 or 3 screen limit on my thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, we just got the cheapest account.
And then, I guess, not that guy, not that dude there.
Yeah.
But Netflix co-founder on a potential password sharing crackdown. You're not scared, are you?
Yeah.
If he's a co-founder and he said that, dude, that's like laying down the law. Like,
I don't have Netflix. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I go. Yeah.
One thing. I'll tell you one thing. Streaming did do was it didn't cut it out completely, but it cut down on piracy some.
Yeah.
Because it was just once Netflix got it worked out and you could play it. I know the app for the original Wii quit working a while ago, but when you could play it
my mom was
on,
mad 'cause she had to stop watching Netflix.
yeah, when you could play it on a Wii and old smartphones, computers, in any browser, they made it so easy and so seamless.
Yeah, when Kazaa used to be a thing.
It was a chore to go and download a show compared to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the ease of use of it that made it
Oh,
popular.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they really nailed it, man.
Well, there was no reason to go risk downloading a show from, some crappy website that you didn't know about.
Oh, we've talked about like ransomware and crap on
yeah,
there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing too that I would like to see is, and I know it's I don't know who's gonna negotiate this deal, but to get the platforms to quit competing on content. Do you know what I mean? That it's probably never gonna happen.
No, some of the stuff's gonna have to die. They're coming into like when cable first became a thing. Like we had there's the basic 4 channels. There's ABC, NBC, and CBS, and that's gonna end up being Hulu, Netflix, and whatever the third one's gonna be. And they'll probably end up sticking around, and other ones are gonna come and go and fall off the face of the earth.
But no, I meant for content. I imagine it's going to be like movie studios or old networks. They're going to have their exclusive content still.
Right.
But is that because Warner Brothers is doing their thing, Disney's doing their thing,
Yeah, you got Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
which you get music. I don't know if you have access to games, music, movies, TV.
You get a lot, yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot with that, but you pay a lot for it. Like Amazon Prime isn't cheap, and they want to raise the price again, I think, don't they?
See, we did the Amazon video trial so I could watch The Boys not too long ago, and I felt like there's a lot of stuff going through. They're like, oh yeah, we have this access to this, but you can rent it. And it was a lot of stuff I was going through. It's yeah, they have a lot of things. You have access to a lot of stuff, but then there's a lot of stuff that's behind another paywall.
Right.
So I was like,
Right. You do get a lot though.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
It's not a lot of stuff I wanted to watch. I watched the couple things I found that I wanted. Maybe it was just the searching of it was just not intuitive.
Oh, do you have an Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick?
No, I just watch it on
When
my
you
phone.
use one of those, it's a lot better of an experience than going through a browser.
See,
do you know what I mean?
It was all on my phone.
Yeah, or on a phone or a browser or a computer. When you actually have an Amazon, a Kindle.
Because I'm only gonna watch it on my phone.
Right.
I got kids; they're gonna watch their crap on TV. And if I don't have my kids with me, I'm gonna be doing something else. So I was like, no, I'm. Maybe it's great, maybe it's not, but I'm at the point where it's if it's not intuitive to my phone, I'm not interested.
It sounds like you don't really watch much other than on your phone.
No, I watch nothing on television.
Yeah.
No more price increases as of yet. It's going to stay locked at $120 for now until Amazon wants more money.
That's $10 a month.
Yeah.
That's not bad, dude.
No. And then you get you get free shipping.
And it's good. If you use Amazon a lot, it's pretty good. Not to knock Amazon.
No, but
they're great. I was they're just not.
Well, no,
it's not what I'm
it's only
for,
a couple bucks more than Netflix. And
yeah,
you get
Netflix is for the crappy ones $7.99, $8.99 or something.
Yeah.
What is it now? No, it's probably more than that.
It's probably
now.
10 now. Yeah, actually.
What, Netflix?
Yeah.
$14.99 is what I pay.
Yeah, but what's the base?
I think
There's
$11.99 maybe.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
$9.99.
Because I know
like
I
that.
started out paying I got Netflix.
It was $6 originally, was it?
Well, I had Prime.
Because you were the first person you kept.
Oh, dude, I got we didn't have cable at my apartment.
Yeah, because you were doing discs, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you had to. When I first started, that was.
Did you have a big binder of discs?
No,
or you were
you send
renting
them back.
the red box?
No,
Netflix.
Well, it was Netflix.
Oh,
What it
yeah,
started
that's right.
out
They
as,
did.
Yeah, I had original Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, that was because
I remember that.
Yeah, and it became part of I can't remember. It was you got the digital streaming free, or it was part of the
it
bundle
got
whatever.
thrown in at first.
Yeah, because
Whoa.
the video store across the street from our old apartment, where on 725.
Yeah, I used to go. Yeah, when you lived there all the time.
They had this thing where because it was Netflix was coming out, and it was just before the death of video stores, and they were like, "Oh man, it was like $20 a month or something." Our roommate and I split it, and you could have 2 or 3 DVDs out at a time. And we just like, and they were open till like 11:30 at night or something. So we would just
even
feel
multiple trips.
we
Yeah.
would go across the street, like it was like 20 yards from our front door, and we would go in like we knew the people by name because we were there like 5 times a day to get DVDs. Like it was just ridiculous.
That's
and,
great.
Like, so we got used to that, and then I had Netflix because I was like, how can I live without having 3 DVDs a day?
Like all movie stores haven't died though. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh, no, they're like
There's a
Adventure Video was like
they're going out.
they're gone.
Oh, are they?
they're
Adventure's
gone?
gone.
Yeah.
They're
They
gone?
had- oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had their going out of business sale,
Yeah.
and they've got their big like sign up that says
Damn. So
see you
get-
in hell. Like, debt collectors just got your name because that's how we retired. We sold all of you mofos who owed us money. We sold your information to debt collectors. That's right.
Damn.
Yeah. People are going to be getting phone calls all around Phillipsburg pretty quick here. It's like, hey, you owe us $500. For what? It's like late rental fees from 1993.
Right. That's. I think I have like a 1-day late rental fee. I wonder what that, if they took and put interest on that.
I don't know, man.
Because I haven't rented a movie since like 2003, 4.
Man, that is one of the most one of the things my kid's not going to get to do. Go to the video store and pick out a movie. Like, I love
That was
doing
a
that
good
when I was a
experience.
kid. Yeah.
What about renting games?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like going in and looking to see if they had any new games. And on top of the new games, then you start looking for games that last time you're there that like you wanted to play but was rented out. Like, is it back?
Oh,
yeah.
those little tags. The little tags hanging on the hooks in front of the freaking...
Yeah.
I don't know, did Adventure Video do that?
I think
Or did you
they
take the
did away
box
with
up?
it.
Okay.
Like
'Cause,
maybe they had it way back when, I think.
Yeah. But you did take the box up.
See, now, like, at Videos Unlimited in Houndstale, it was like, there's a little, like, one of those little, like, tiny code hooks, and they had just, like, a little plastic key tag type thing.
Yeah.
And it had, like, a number and crap on it. And...
Video rental stores, man. So,
I think like high school was like the last time. Like, we
you was
really
renting
went.
movies or
Yeah.
games?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know. I remember going... Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going with Bruce and Shady. Like, dude, I rolled my entire childhood. I remember going to the video store in Houndstale.
The last console I rented was a Nintendo 64. I remember. It was like 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, like late, I'm going to say 98 maybe. 99, I rented one of them.
I remember, like, well, it would probably been like the late 80s. I remember having to rent VCR when I was a kid.
Like, game rentals was one thing. And I remember the first time I went into a place and like, oh yeah, you can rent the system too. Like, what? What the fuck is that? Like, who are you trusting with this? Like, it just blew my mind. Yeah. All right. What else on the table, man?
Oh, I had one for you.
What's that?
Ryan Johnson, your favorite, said that
Who's my favorite?
Ryan Johnson, Last Jedi.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said that Empire was not well received back in the day.
Empire.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just like the fucking giant turd goblin. Like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know.
What
I
about
don't even know.
What about the new attraction, like the new Star Wars attraction that doesn't have any of the old?
Yeah, it's all new trilogy stuff, kind of.
Well, that's what they're selling.
Yeah. But
But, here's the thing. Kids that end up watching it now, that end up liking it, are going to
Right,
like it.
they're gonna dig
Like-
that. They're gonna buy those toys.
Yeah.
Go to those parks.
Like,
Or
kids that
those
watch
rides.
the prequels, like the prequels, like they know, like that's they're saying like, well, okay, screw old Star Wars fans. We don't care about old Star Wars fans. We're like going for the long haul, like Star Wars fans. Like we're gonna have Star Wars money coming up.
so even though
Right.
the park's
Yeah,
not.
because like at this point they've realized they've alienated a lot of their old fans, and like, dude, I love Star Wars.
One,
Like, I own
this is good.
Yeah.
all of the Star Wars novels. I own like most of the Star Wars comics. Like
You
I
own
know
all
more about
the-
Star Wars.
all the miniatures for like.
Yeah,
like
I
a
own
game.
miniatures. I own toys. I own ships. Like I know like the backstory of like random Ewoks on like that don't even appear in Jedi. Like, I know I love Star Wars. I don't like the new Star Wars.
I'm never playing this guy in Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
Like, I'm terrible at Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
You think?
Oh, I know.
Where you answer
because
questions?
all the Trivial Pursuit questions, 75% of the Trivial Pursuit questions are about real world things. It's like, who was the actor that played blah blah blah? It's like,
yeah,
I don't know who the actor that played it. He just doesn't matter. Like,
no, we don't.
It's like I know Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and
the important
and Richard
people.
Mayhew. Like, and then
Billy D.
Oh yeah, well, Billy D. Williams. Like, of course, like, yeah, I know, like, main characters. Like, I don't know anything else. Like, I don't know, like, anything about the production of it. I don't care about the real world aspect. Well, I know a lot about the production of it just from accident, like, osmosis. I don't care about any of the real world aspects, but they killed that. They said, nah. Like, they didn't understand what Star Wars fans were buying. Like, they didn't understand why I was buying all that crap.
Right.
And they were like, nah, we got to make more money off this movie. And they'll buy toys just because it's Star Wars. It's
nope.
Like, no, we buy... Like,
that's not how it works,
no,
man.
Like, look. How many Darth Vaders do I own? Like, I own, like, 1 billion Darth Vaders. I don't want a new character. I'm sorry. Like, it sucks, but I don't want a new one. Like, how many Leias do I own? 1 billion. Like, and that also makes me mad. When they say, like... I was like, oh, Star Wars is sexist. Star Wars isn't sexist. Star Wars has never been sexist. Never once ever. Like, yeah, Princess Leia is in a revealing outfit in one scene in, like, the whole movie.
Right.
And then, like, she takes the chains of her oppressor and strangles him to death.
Right.
And leaves his bloated, dead corpse
That
in
part
a
don't matter,
flaming
though.
wreck.
It just matters what
Like,
she was wearing. That's the important thing.
But it makes sense why she was wearing it. It's not like, that makes me mad. It's like, no, dude, like, you guys are, like, I feel it makes me angry that they're downplaying Princess Leia's role, and they're, like, saying, oh, well, like, no, she didn't have a lightsaber, but that wasn't her plate. She didn't need a lightsaber.
No.
And it's like, that's what I feel they're trying to say do with Rey, is, like, they're like, oh, no, this is what would have happened if Leia had a lightsaber. It would have been better. It's like, well, no, it's like, you guys just don't understand Star Wars. The people writing it and doing it don't understand what made Star Wars Star Wars. There should be no, like, they're trying to, like, put political crap and stuff in there. There is no politics in Star Wars. The politics in Star Wars is...
I don't know, man.
No.
I kind of think there should have been
No.
more safe spaces in the fucking Star Wars universe.
No.
Like, personally. I
Like-
could see it happening.
It just makes me so mad. It's like, no, there's the Empire. They're the bad guys. Do you know who the Empire represents? The bad guys. They don't represent real-world people. Why do they look sort of like Nazis? Because Nazis were bad guys. Like, and Nazis weren't the first ones to march around like a bunch of crazy dicks.
Actually, I prefer the opening. What is it? Chasing Amy. Where they're at the comic convention, the dude starts talking about Vader.
Oh, deep down, yeah.
The deep down inside.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Watch the beginning of Chasing Amy. It's like the first 5 minutes.
Which one is it? Or is that from Clerks or Clerks? No, you talk about the contractors on the Death Star. Like,
That's
That's
Clerks.
Clerks,
Yeah, the
yeah.
original Clerks. Yeah. All right. Two
Sorry, I
things.
get really excited
Two
about Star
things
Wars
with the
sometimes.
Marvel thing, man. Another old dude spoke up, bitching that they're not cinema, they're not movies. They don't move you. They don't transform you. Okay, for him, but there's still millions of people that would disagree. And two, is it true? I saw a post online, quick little news blurb, that a dead character is coming back from Endgame.
So you don't read comic books, right?
No. I do, but I haven't for years.
Oh, well, yeah. It's I dead characters come back constantly.
Right, but no. It's who is it? See if I can find it. If it didn't disappear, it probably disappeared.
Dead characters come back. They get reincarnated. People like take over their bodies. Like, it's like, well, no, like, do have the body of, like, X character, but I'm actually the brain of Y character because of reasons, magic, time travel.
Right. But no, Marvel said that one of the characters is coming back to tie up or to answer one of the big mysteries from Endgame.
I haven't seen Endgame. I'm not a fan of the Marvel movies myself. Like,
Right.
It's just like the stories I've read in comic book form. It's like they would do comic books are like, even the way they're written now to be printed in graphic novel form, a movie can't capture that. It's like episodic. It's like you can make a show out of them, but you're not going to have the budget to do what you need to do to make with a show. So you have to make a movie, and then you end up cutting things, and things have to get changed. And
well, to be fair, we already talked about it. They couldn't have did like the actually Infinity Gauntlet saga or whatever.
No,
because strictly because of Sony being dicks and owning some of the characters.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, yeah.
It's not only being dicks, that's a money thing too. Like, that, it comes back to the whole password sharing thing. It's like, nah, they bought that. They own the rights to that. Like,
right.
Like, you know, like.
Right, but like, do you think they even tried negotiating to get it into the?
They've been negotiating for a long time. Like, well, the Spider-Man sort of panned out because they got Spider-Man into the MCU.
Right.
And like that was that, but then Sony's like, well, we got Venom. People sort of like that movie. So you can't have Venom without Spider-Man, really. So maybe we want him back now. But then, like, Into the Spider-Verse was an amazing movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which I really like that movie. That was like compared to all of the Marvel movies, that's my favorite. It's not even a, you know.
Well, you watch just like the animated ones on like Netflix. Don't
Yeah, I've watched all of those. I've seen all of the Marvel movies up till Endgame. Like, I just never went to see it. And
once I saw a post saying that one of the characters that died in the did any die in the first part?
Like half
Infinity
the universe,
War?
half the universe dies.
Well, no. I mean, but other than that part, did anybody, like, an individual death?
I don't know.
But anyhow, yeah. What I saw said one of them's coming back to tie up some of the, like, loose ends from Endgame. So who, you know, I mean, it can't be Stark. He's dead. Would they give him a Viking funeral? Send him down the river burning?
Yeah.
No, it can be anybody.
You think?
The only reason it's not going to be Tony Stark is because Robert Downey Jr. once, like, you know, he's like, man, I got a free Burger King for life card. Like, and, like, so even if I lose all my money, I'm still not going to starve. And so, like, how much can you possibly pay him at that point? You know what I mean? Like, he's set. He's got, like, the Burger King card. And he can even go vegan now because, like, they've got Impossible burgers. Well, I guess he can vegetarian because they're not really vegan. But yeah, like, I think that's a lot of it. Like, the only thing stopping Iron Man from being in another, like, Tony Stark from coming back is, you know.
Well, obviously somebody would take over
the role of.
I would be very surprised if they don't have somebody else be an Iron Man character. Yeah, because
Dude,
they've tried it a couple times in the last person in the comics. I think it was Riri Williams, and I think she's a supervillain now.
Right.
It's been a while, and like.
Did you see the horror Superman movie Brightburn?
No, but I want to really bad.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that after you see it. So you can see, like, what angle they played it as.
Oh, see, I know all about it. Like,
Right.
I have not seen the movie, but I've watched enough spoiler reviews and impression videos. Yeah,
I think it was an interesting take on a superhero movie, even though it wasn't a superhero movie. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I would love to see other characters.
Have you watched The Boys on Amazon yet?
No.
Okay, watch The Boys.
That's superheroes in real life?
It
Or which one? You told me about it some, I think.
So the basic idea is that like, superheroes pop up and, like, basically one corporation is in charge of all these superheroes. And they're trying to get the U.S. government to sign a contract with them to put superheroes in the army. And like, oh, your city wants a superhero? Well, it's like $32 million a year. You got to pay us and you get a superhero and stuff like that.
Superheroes for sale.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's just super marketed, and then, you know, like, turns out they're manufacturing them, and they're this terrible dark secret, and
All right.
there's about a couple.
I'll watch
it. Yeah, but they're also going to be doing a show called Invincible, and it's about Robert. I think it's Robert Kirkman, the guy that did Walking Dead.
I think it sounds close.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I'm terrible at things. I think it was the guy that did Walking Dead. It's his version of Superman.
Yeah. All right.
It's not a rip off of Superman. It's like there's this, like, it's like, hey, there's this teenage kid, and like, as things go on, you find out, like, his dad's Superman. And it's like, he's Superboy. And then you find out, it's like, oh, it turns out, like, you know, his dad's not, he is Superman, but the planet he came from actually sends out Supermans to conquer planets.
Right.
And he's like, hey, son, like, I just, you know, killed the whole Justice League. Now you and me are going to conquer the world together. And,
And this is movie or
it's
comic?
It's their next show.
Okay.
It's a comic.
Like a comic to show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I want to say the comic's done. Like this, it's like 15, 16 years old at this point. Like it started, but I'm pretty sure it's done. Like the characters still pop up, but I don't want to know if there's like a running Invincible comic anymore.
I don't remember the last show when he was on.
It was a long time ago.
But do you have a take on all the PC woke being put into comics? Do you have a?
I do. Okay, so here's my theory on that.
Because characters have always changed. Other people have always, picked up taken the suit, taken over the suit, the role, picked up the gauntlet, whatever.
Yeah. Here's my problem with that. Okay, it's like a lot of the people, like the original people who wrote comic books,
Right.
were middle-aged white men.
Right.
Writing stories for their kids.
Right.
So like they're like, what did I want my kid to read? Okay, so the next generation of comic writers were people that grew up reading those heroic stories, and said, I'm going to retell, like, these guys are my heroes.
Right.
The next generation of comic book writers grew up reading the second generation of comic writers, like, well, like these guys are just too good, and like they dirtied them up a little bit.
Yeah. Like turn.
Yeah, like
Who was an addict?
And like, that was not a writing choice. That was like an editorial thing, and that was Speedy.
No.
Arrow.
Wasn't Iron Man? Didn't he?
Oh, Iron Man was an alcoholic. Iron Man's been an alcoholic since.
In the comic though.
Yeah.
There was somebody that was a drug addict in the comics.
So in the comics, there have been like the most famous one is Speedy. He's the Green Arrow's sidekick.
Okay, yeah.
And
That's
like, there's like a really famous panel, and like, there's like Speedy shooting up, and the Green Arrow's like, oh no, and it's like super like cute melodramatic, It's like, it's like so like, and then he's like, you can no longer be my sidekick, and
right, but some of the stuff that was done just to like pander to people that were complaining, like that stuff.
Well, so it's not so much people are panicking. It's like a lot of the writers they're hiring, like they've heard for so long, and it's like, oh, it's only like white dudes writing comic books. Rah! You don't let anybody in, so they're letting other people in.
Right.
And these people didn't like a lot of the people that are coming in didn't grow up reading comic books. They grew up reading fan fiction about comic book characters.
Right.
On the internet. Like, they didn't actually read comics. They're like, there's nobody that's, like, fits my mold, so, like, therefore, I'm just going to make all these stories up. And now, like, they're going back and retconning stupid stuff, and it's like, no, it turns out this character was gay all the time.
Who did
I don't
the,
care.
What is it, the New 52? Was that DC?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's some good stuff in New 52.
I mean, in Marvel, they how did they redo their universe, Marvel?
They didn't. They said they were, then they didn't.
Well, no, didn't
then they said, oh, no. So what happened was the universe was ending, and it was terrible. Oh, so terrible. Because like,
we got comic history here. It's great.
Yeah, like, it's just so sad, because in the end, like, Captain America just is like he just fails as being Captain America. Everybody fails at being, like, a superhero, because the universe is ending.
They always fail.
And instead of they don't. Like, it's like Captain America, like, it's the whole, what's his name? Guy that did Superman and Batman, douchebag McAssface.
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder. Yeah, douchebag McAssface, like I said. So he had said that he's like, I don't understand why people get so upset. Batman and Superman are going to kill people. Batman's flying around and Superman's got laser eyes. People are going to die. He's like, no, in the comic books, they don't die, because that's what makes them superheroes. Like, if they're killing people, they're just vigilantes. Superheroes don't kill people.
It is true, though. I mean, because for years, Batman just beat him up, whatever, tied him up, chopped him, knocked him out.
Like, Batman doesn't kill people. Superman doesn't kill people. Superman is, like, in the comic books, we see when Superman starts killing people, he becomes God, King, Emperor of all of Earth, and anybody that doesn't listen to him, he rips them in half. Like, that's there's like story arcs all about it. Like that's what happens. Like, and they say like, people want realism. People want realism. It's like, dude, how much realism do I want with my guy that's flying around with his underwear on the outside shooting freaking laser eyes? Like, no, we don't want realism.
Underwear on the outside.
Yeah. That's just like the most stupid argument to me. It's like, man, have you ever read a comic book? Do you really understand what Batman's talking about? It's like, no, like that's the people, they don't understand that's my big, I guess, complaint with like taking the comic books into movies and like,
right.
The people that they're saying like, oh, like you're wrong for this and you're wrong for like, no, you don't understand what's happening. Like you see something, it's not about Batman just beating the crap out of the Joker and a bunch of guys. It's not a big action scene. It's like a moral statement Batman is making by not killing these guys.
Yeah.
Like that is what makes him a superhero.
Yeah.
It's not that he's fighting crime.
Always has been that way.
Yeah. Like he's not the Punisher. Like that's the thing. Everybody like the one comic book that everybody, I think all these guys have read, is Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. It's amazing. It's about Batman being like, it's this old retired Batman, and like he's like this government's out to like arrest Batman because there's like a superhero crackdown, and now Superman's on the government payroll, and like, and Batman's like, you know what? Nah, because you know what? Crap's going down, and I'm gonna be Batman again, and Batman and Superman fight. It's the Batman versus Superman storyline, except better, because the Batman versus story, like that movie's god awful. And there's no point when they're just like, Martha! And they're like, Martha!
Batfleck.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that movie is based off of that. And, but it was a great comic. But now everything is that comic book.
I didn't dig that. I didn't dig the suit that Batman was in.
No.
Like,
well, seeing it in the comic book, it's awesome.
I know he needed it
to
fight Superman. I understand that, but man, they
I have the comic book version action figure, and it's like my favorite Batman.
They made it so cheesy in the movie. Yeah. It's so bad.
It's because you can't. Some of the stuff that's in comic books cannot be translated into like that into like another medium.
It's not even comics, man. It's books in general. You can't take a book and make it a movie easily, and it's rarely done successfully. That's strictly opinion, but I've seen a lot of movies that I read the book before. Mm-hmm. And I've also seen movies that I'm like, I find out later, oh, it was based on a book. I go back and read the book. Almost always the book is better.
Yeah. Well, you also got to figure with like a book, it's like that's one guy. And maybe his editor and publisher, like that's a limited number of people involved.
Yeah, movies, you start getting too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, same with the comic book. Some comic books are written from beginning to end and drawn by one guy.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, so like you get into movies and stuff, and then you go like make everybody happy. And the comic books, like when they're written, they're like, we know we have a very limited audience. Like, we only got to keep, how many people buying comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a couple. Whereas if you're going to go in and make the movie, it's like, holy crap. Like, to make our money back, you just, like, screw the comic book guys. There's not enough for us to care about them.
We can't even pay them.
Yeah.
Free labor.
Yeah. So, like, that's what there is.
All right. I want to shift gears real quick just to put, I think we're dealing with 3 people that have kids, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a safe statement? Everybody here has children.
Yeah.
In the picture. All right. One thing I want to bring up here. I will pop it up if I can find it. There was a safe haven baby box put in at a hospital in, where is it? Indiana, I think. In Hammond, Indiana. So basically, if you have a newborn baby and you think you can't provide for it, whatever.
About these for years.
Right. But they have them in other countries.
Yeah.
People drop them off at like where do excuse me, where do like nuns live?
Oh, yeah, convents.
Okay. Like kids raised there, adoption agencies, they adopt kids out, all that. But
most adoption agencies don't have like a physical building full of like kids to be adopted.
Right.
Yeah, it's not
right.
like
They
orphanages
work
don't
with the
exist
people.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, orphanages. I mean, I'm sure they do somewhere.
Well, yeah,
but
it's not in the United States, really.
but this is literally a box that tells you if you do not need services, do not open. Alarm will sound. So basically, you open up, set your kid in there. As soon as you set your baby in there, alarm sounds, and within seconds, maybe a minute or so, people, workers arrive to take a kid. You know what I mean? And it's a level of giving up your kid without dealing with anything face to face. Like you don't have no paperwork, no questions asked, You just go drop your kid off if you think you can't provide for it.
Yeah.
Crazy idea. But what about some of the ways people choose to do it, like leaving them in a wooded area, real close to civilization, like a well-traveled footpath? I mean, think about the crazy ways where kids have been dropped off just randomly on doorsteps, at churches, hospitals, wherever.
I'm curious to how often they get used. You know what I mean? Like,
well, this one, they put this in, and within a month is the first time it was used in.
So it's one.
Yeah, Indiana.
Out of how many? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I didn't do the numbers, man.
Well, I know. It's like, I don't think we're gonna see an epidemic of like, anonymous drop-off orphans. And does it print out a receipt or something?
Nope. No questions
somebody
asked.
Could
no
ask me,
paperwork.
it's like, Dan, where'd your baby go? Just like, baby box.
Right.
It's like,
I mean, is that not nutty?
Yeah.
Like me having a kid, I could never picture doing it, but I could see circumstances for it. Do you know what I mean? Like if somebody knows that somebody that became pregnant way too young, they're still in school themselves, whatever, knows, and I don't know, they're not, I mean, there is a reason there isn't. Do you know?
I'm waiting to read the article now where someone's trying to shove their like 14-year-old fucking.
That's what I was getting to. Like who's gonna be the
Shut
first?
Shut up, Randy! I'm done dealing with you. Into the baby box.
Who's the first person gonna get arrested? Like you said, trying to stuff their 15-year-old. Like get in there. We don't want you. Like
you know how much you cost me in car insurance?
And like, Dad, this ain't a teenager box. It's a baby box.
Right.
Oh, down the street. Let's go. My bad. Wrong stop. Somebody's gonna have to. But no. I couldn't do it personally, man. That's me. I could see why people would want to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, certain circumstances.
Like, we're not a big city here. We're a super small town. You're not in town locally, but you are local to us.
Yeah.
You're closer to a city environment, but still not a city.
Just talking about that, no. State College isn't a city. Like people.
Altoona, not a city.
No, like
Yeah,
they can have like Well, State College doesn't even say it's a city. Altoona and Du Bois, they're like, yeah, we're a city.
Yeah, there's definitely bigger and crazier.
Like I don't know, Altoona's pretty nasty though. There's parts of like Altoona is much more city than Du Bois is. Like Du Bois is
commonplace, man.
Yeah.
Baby boxes all around.
It's like I could see Altoona having a baby box. But
Tim.
they also have convents there because like it's the diocese seat or whatever, so they've got like nuns. Like Phillipsburg has like quite the lack of nuns. Like then again, I see nuns every once in a while here. Like I don't know where they come from.
I haven't seen any nuns around. You seen nuns around?
It's got to be a wrap, son.
Oh, about
Yeah, we are hitting the clock.
all right.
Oh,
Are you?
sorry.
Are we gonna do an
Distracted about
extended
nuns.
show?
I can keep talking. I don't care.
No, I mean I have to go to work.
Oh.
But I mean, do you got time for a part 2 soon?
Yeah.
Do we want to do a special episode through the week? Can we
It's up to you,
can we
man.
abduct him? We'll work out the
Yeah,
details
let me know
offline.
Yeah.
Tim, how can we get in on this baby box
Oh, I don't.
outside the studio? We need producers, editors.
We're gonna have,
What do you want the
all right.
baby
yeah, because
for?
We'll make it.
Like I'm gonna be honest, man. Babies
We'll make
sorta
it.
suck.
We won't do a baby box. We'll do the antisocial 20-something box. That way, they kind of. There's no labor laws that go into effect if we're having like 20-somethings dropped
I'm
off.
pretty sure it's still human trafficking.
Like an intern box, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
intern.
that's
Okay,
how
that's-
you
alright,
that's
that
how you
makes
get
it
around
legal.
it. Yeah.
That keeps it
You guys-
legal.
all you have to do is say unpaid intern, and it makes it legal.
Oh,
Just
geez.
imagining like a Mexican traveler, like
All right.
unpaid interns, like, oh, dude.
You heard it here first. Antisocial Experience intern box coming soon to a town
Unpaid intern.
near
Yeah,
you.
unpaid.
Unpaid
You have to
intern
say
box.
That's the
unpaid.
important
Unpaid
part.
intern. Unpaid's going to be the biggest word on it.
Yep.
No. It has to be little. It's like fine print. Maybe you can even like asterisk that shit. But
Send us your editors, your producers, your people. No, just kidding.
They're
You'll-
just unpaid interns.
Jokes, man, jokes. You will never see one of those boxes with our logo or name on it. Ever.
maybe not.
I think it's a good idea and
I'm
also
not gonna rule it out.
good idea and also bad idea.
Well, yeah, dude, you're gonna have to like, especially around here, people are gonna be like stopping in the middle of the night to throw in like dead like animal roadkills and crap. So like, yeah, I think it's more trouble than it's worth because you're gonna be driving out here to check it at all hours of the night.
Nope, not happening. And with that, what are we doing? We out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Henry,